just did Happy Hour Friday. But I wanted to do like a collective read. So whatever it is that you need clarity, because at first I was like, do I do a love vibe? And then I was like, getting a no, not necessarily, unless that's what comes out, but don't just limit it to that. So I heard moment of clarity. So maybe this is a message for someone that needs that clarity, something that you've been praying about, um, to get that true clarity. And by the way, just gonna pray because I want to pray over this. So whoever this reading may be for, this is probably like what you need, who knows, or it leads you to the clarity that you're seeking. If it's not within this reading, then I pray that this reading will lead you to find the clarity that you so seek. Okay, and that true clarity, that divine clarity and wisdom that comes along with it. I pray that for whomever this is meant for, that you get that divine truth, that divine clarity. And God, I ask that we cast down any false guidances, false imaginations, and false truths from coming through this reading and coming out of my mouth. I pray that it's all of you. You guide me, you lead me, even down to the cards that I choose and how I see them, how I read them, how I convey them out of my mouth, that I'm tuned to your voice in your ear and I hear your voice and clear, your voice loud and clear. And that I honor the voice and nothing else. Any foreign spirits or familiar spirits, trickster spirits, lying spirits, demonic forces and spirits, God, we bind you and we block you. I ask, God, that you give me the utmost truth and wisdom, discernment and provision, and provide the same for those who are watching, and to bring an energy of peace and clarity and truth through this reading and revelation and divine conviction that leads to correction if need be. Amen and ashe. Let's go ahead and get into the reading. All right. Hey. Hey, Mimi. Hey, Besso. How are you? All right, let's see. What is this clarity? What's going on? What is the energy? What's the energy? Okay. Holy Spirit. What is the energy? What is the collective energy of those who are seeking divine clarity? Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. I'm not going to stop until I get the Ace of Swords. I just got that. I'm gonna keep going until I get that Ace of Swords. So this might be a little bit of a long read. Okay. Two of Wands and the Lovers. There's a choice in the matters of the heart. It does not have to be love and romance, but for some of you, it very well could be. Okay, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands. Wow. The Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Swords. Like I said, I'm not going to stop this reading until I get the Ace of Swords. Okay? So, however many cards got to come out until we get to the Ace of Swords, so we get that clarity, that's just what it is. That's what I'm being guided towards. All right. Hey, what's up, Brianna? Okay. Two of Wands came out of the deck. So the Two of Wands, I feel like someone is in between two energies of, do I move towards I move towards a new energy, and that new energy represents expansion, and it represents growth, it represents change, it represents movement more. So someone is kind of like in that place where they know that there's more that awaits them, but they're still at that place of having yet to make that decision. Maybe they've been kind of sitting on this decision for quite some time. I do get that there is a situation here with the matters of the heart where there's two pathways, two choices. Do I follow the path of my heart, my soul, or do I stay in my comfortable zone, in my flesh, in my ego, in my lower self, or do I go higher? So I'm also getting like, for some of you, I'm not going to lie, I do feel like this has something to do with love for the majority of you. Not everyone, but for the majority of you, it does. You have two counterparts here, the King and the Queen of Wands that came out, and they're actually sitting together. They came right after one another. The Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. I'm sorry to hear that, Besso. I can't, I don't even know how to even respond to that because that's heavy. Losing a mother, that's not easy. I send you love though, sis. That's not easy to do it. I send you peace with this, and that you have the strength to move through life, and that you find the light in this, and you find the peace, the understanding, the wisdom with it, because it's not easy, and that you allow yourself time to heal and to grieve. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, sis. Okay. So let me just tap back into the reading. So the Knight of Wands follows after the Lover's card. So I get that someone might have ran from love rather than ran towards it. And it could be because someone here didn't feel like they could live up to the expectations of the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands has a very dynamic energy. I do get there's a lot of passion and exchange between these two people, but it was kind of like, I don't know if I can really live up to this person's expectations. They have a lot of energy. They're very powerful. They're very magnetic. I don't know what I'm feeling. And to be with this person, I know that I would have to kind of be more. I would have to stand up. I would have to bring more than what I'm bringing. It's like this person can see themselves with this other person. So you could take it whatever side you're on, because I'm being led to kind of just read it as a story as I'm getting it, and you can place yourself as it resonates. But I'm getting like there's a person, this Knight of Wands, which essentially sees themselves, or can see themselves being the King of Wands for this Queen of Wands. It's like they see their full potential. They see who they can be. And I feel like this Queen of Wands can see that in them as well. But I'm just getting like this Knight of Wands is also this Knight of Pentacles energy, which kind of like taking their time and not fully and full blown pursuing something, because they can see the fulfillment. They can see the end, or they can see, at the very least, feel the fulfillment, like feel that this could be a lot of potential to build upon something that has longevity, that has room to grow. This person can see that. Someone is also in prayer about how to really like move in this energy, what to do with this energy, how to walk in this decision or this choice. There's a lot of meditating and prayer about this and sitting with this. Um, there might be a little bit of a need to recover. So this could be someone that left, or kind of like um, came in quickly, hot and heavy, or was like some type of momentum and then pulled back, or it could be due to distance. But during that time, it's like an energy of a separation, or like like a short term. I'm getting like a short term separation energy, or just taking a break from something. If it's not a person that's taking a break from something and giving themselves time to like sit with the energy, recharge, rejuvenate, get their clarity that they need. The Nine of Wands. And it's gearing themselves up for something, because it's like, okay, if I approach this situation, there is a possibility that I could get hurt. This is someone that has been hurt before, that has fell down plenty of times, several times, that has been disappointed, that has fallen on their ass, yes, that has had the egg on their face, had the pie in their face in the past. And maybe not necessarily with this specific situation, whatever this may be, if it's a connection or it's just a circumstance or a dream or a goal of some sort. Someone has been kind of met with that, and they're afraid to get hurt, because looking at this Queen of Swords, which I also feel like is the Queen of Wands as well, looking at this person, like, I know I can't play no games with this person, and if I fail to deliver, this person might cut my head off, or maybe this person has did something warranted to this Queen of Wands. This knight did something that warrants this Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords energy, to cut this person's head off, or maybe cuss them out, maybe just kind of speak in a way that might be a little a little cutthroat, plays no games. Mind you, the Queen of Swords is open, but she's also discerning. Like her sword is up, her hand is up, on one hand is up, like welcome to hear, welcome to receive, welcome to reciprocate energy, but also at the same time with that sword up, it's like don't mess with me, don't F with me, you know better than that. So it's like this fear of kind of getting their ass handed to them if they're not careful. So there's a little bit of a guarded energy, kind of like walking with the tail tucked between their legs. Like I said, I'm gonna keep pulling until I get the Ace of Swords. I'm not gonna stop till I get the Ace of Swords. So you have the Death card. So there's a need for an end. Something has to end. In order for this new energy, this new situation, which you can see the page or the Ace of Cups popping out of the deck at the top, in order for this new energy, replenishment, renewal, purification within the self and within a situation, in order for that to really happen, something needs to end. And it might be someone's ego, something that someone believed in or thought or heavily clung on, like clinged to, needs to be released. Might not be easy. Someone is investigating. I'm hearing investigating or going deep within themselves about it. The Ace of Cups, because there is a blessing here. There is I heard powerful energy of restoration. Maybe something that someone thought was a dead situation or just could never be more than where it was or what it has been. Like maybe this is all that it is, or it's not going to get any better than this, or this is just an empty or dead end situation. But the Ace of Cups speaks otherwise. Like it's very possible that it could be. But again, that these cups represent divine offers, divine opportunity. They're available for a time. It's up to us whether we receive it, whether we take it or we don't. The devil, yeah. So someone has to possibly let go of a toxic energy or toxic situation. This also tells me that there's third party energies here, because if you notice, you got two knights, you got a king, you got two queens. You got the lovers, now you have the devil. The lovers and the devil are opposites of one another. The devil is the counterfeit energy. It is the deception. It is the karmic energy. It is the false connection, toxic connection. So someone might have to let that go, or it's like someone is operating in their karmic energy, which kind of makes the connection itself karmic or toxic or burdensome, or brings in that dark energy where there's light. So spirit, I feel like the divine is aware of some shadow energy, or making, well, of course spirit is aware, but it's making one or both parties aware of a shadow energy in the situation, whether it's within the self or within an environment or situation or a connection outside of this connection that is toxic. Yep, someone needs to walk away from it with the Eight of Cups, whether it's a connection, an environment, or an energy within thyself. Um, Someone is being led to let that go. It's not fulfilling anymore. It doesn't serve a good purpose at all. Someone might have walked away from this connection due to its toxicity, or yeah, someone could have walked away from this and sought out for some type of peace, healing within themselves. So if there was a third party energy, or there was like a toxic situation, toxic environment involved, or people involved, someone decided to detach themselves from that in order to heal. Page of Cups. Yeah, this is the only way that one of you, if the other is receptive and the other is not receptive to this Ace of Cups, the only way that this person or one of you can be receptive is if you let go of the toxicity. For something with the ego, there's something with the shadow self, or the shadow self that resonates with this ego energy, or these karmic energies, or karmic people, or toxic people, I should say. There's a part of the self that resonated with that. Now it's time to release it. It's time to cut it out now. So that Page of Cups, again, is that potential of that. There we go. There's our Ace of Swords. So, yeah. If you guys had clarity about something or seeking clarity, that's it. That's what it is. in order for this connection to thrive, it really, there's a lot of duality in the cards. The lovers, the devil, the ace, the king and the queen of wands. So the two knights. There's an energy of duality, but also an energy of compatibility. But it's really up to one or both parties to decide to leave the toxicity behind, whatever that toxicity represents, letting it go, letting it die out, which is not always easy. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's doubt, sometimes it's insecurity, sometimes it's patterns, vices, addictions, patterns that you're used to. So until someone lets that go, releases it, frees themselves, walk away from it, they're not fully going to be able to be receptive to this nor make a decision. So it's really a choice as well. It's a choice and a decision that has to be made. No one can force you or the person, whoever resonates with the side of this, whatever side you fall on, no one can force the other person to make that decision. They have to make it for themselves, not even the divine. The divine presents that, but they can't force nothing, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna put, and I feel like this emperor at the bottom of the deck, that represents the divine power. So I'm gonna leave the lovers out and the devil out, and I'm gonna do something here because I'm led to put these cards back. Okay, let's start with the yeah, guys, let's start with the devil because we're gonna call some shadow energy out. So I want to see what the devil energy is and how these two people or how are they influenced of this energy. That devil energy can represent a person, a pattern, a fear, anything. But I want to see how each party is reacting to that. How are they influenced by that energy? How is it affecting them? Holy Spirit, what is the devil energy? Can you clarify the energy of the devil? What is the devil energy representing in this situation that we're asking about? In this situation that we're asking about. No, I'm doing a collective read. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. How is the feminine energy being influenced by this Nine of Pentacles? Thank you, Ace of Cups. Okay. How is this masculine energy being affected or influenced by this devil energy? The Ten of Cups. Both parties, ironically, struggle with the belief that they're deserving of love and deserving of receiving it in some type of way, however it's manifesting. That Nine of Pentacles tells me that the devil energy here is this independence, a false sense of security and independence. Maybe both parties are used to being single. Maybe both parties are used to doing things on their own. They're not used to collaborating. They're not used to fully providing, or not providing, but maybe for some of you providing that security to another person, or the fear of providing that, or the ability, can I really live up to this? Can I really bring security to this connection? For some, it is worried about financial security. Is this person going to be able to provide or care for my needs, or am I going to be able to provide or care for this person's needs in some type of way, or again, materialistically? um but the first thing that initially came to me with this card intuitively is the devil energy here, the burden, the block, the interference is this energy of independence. Out of that fear, I feel like, of leaning upon or trusting somebody, allowing someone else in your garden. I built this up for myself. I created this luxury, this comfort. This could be someone that's used to living by themselves, being comfortable being single. And being comfortable being single doesn't mean that you don't go out and you don't date or you don't sleep with people. You are single enough to where you don't have a title, to where you don't have to really answer to anybody. You like to have your freedom. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but I feel like this is coming from a place of, let's say the shadow energy of this would be the Nine of Wands or the Nine of Swords. Not allowing myself to be open to receive that cup of love. So the feminine energy is like afraid to receive something new, something different, a new type of loving energy or a new beginning in love because of the past. Or I've grown secure in myself so much. I do want love, but I'm at a place where, like, do I really want it? Do I really trust someone to take care of everything that I've already been taking care of myself? That, you know, having peace just by living by myself, being on my own, not having to worry about what this person is doing, if they're going to come home or not. Are they going to call me? Are they going to text me? Are they out cheating? It's a security in your own energy. And that's what the feminine is like, that fear of receiving that love that they actually have been praying for. And if it is the cup, is this really truly the chalice? Um, so that's how it's affecting the feminine, and how it's affecting the masculine in that is, again, sharing one's life with somebody. Feeling like, can I really have my wish fulfillment? Is this too good to be true? Like, after everything that I've been through, because if you think about it, rainbows usually and typically come, that rainbow energy usually typically come after a rainstorm. Rain and storms can, for some, represent doom and gloom, and for some, it could represent purification. It's needed. It's needed to grow. Water needs to shed upon the earth to cleanse and purify it and to help things grow, right? So that process is needed. That process and that energy was needed. So this person could have a hard time with, obviously you can see there was a drought here for a long time. Maybe this person was not fulfilled in love, or didn't really feel like they would find a person that they can marry or end up with. So let's see where the influence of the lover's energy is for both parties. I'm going to put these cards back. Anybody, you see anybody doing this, know where they got it from, because this is some stuff that divine led me to do. How to read the cards like that. If you see anybody else doing it, you know where they got it from. Okay, because I know I got a little small channel and people be, it's easy to bite off somebody's channel when it's like, it's not really a small channel. I got like 21,000 subscribers, but YouTube, I don't know if they shadow ban my ass or something because I don't get the views. It doesn't match the subscriber count. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this angelic energy above. What is the angelic divine influence of this connection? Um, sis, I'm not doing, these are just, this is just for the collective. I did happy hour like not that long ago, but I got off happy hour and I'm like, let me do a collective. I haven't done a collective read in a minute. Okay, so let's see. What is the angelic influence? What is the angelic influence? The angelic heavenly influence of this connection. The Nine of Swords. It's interesting because I was picking up Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands energy with the Devil card. How is the feminine energy being influenced by this angelic influence? How are they being influenced and affected? Two cards came out. Ace of Wands, oh gosh, Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. No problem. Let me see. Okay, masculine energy. How is the masculine energy being affected? Thank you. Page of Swords. Interesting how it's interesting. It's a mirror because, okay, I don't know if y'all noticed this. So you had a 9 in the devil, like the devil energy. Now you have 9 of Pentacles, and now you have the 9 of Swords as the angelic influence. Interesting. Then the other read, you had a cup card, and the masculine energy also had a cup card. Now it's swords. But you also have another ace for the feminine because the feminine energy had the ace of cups. So it's interesting. It's some type of mirror. So the Nine of Swords is the angelic influence, is that I feel like your spiritual team wants you both to address your fears. And those fears, you guys might be triggering each other through those fears or the situation. If not each other, then the situation, the circumstances, something is being triggered. And it's like, this has to be dealt with. This has to be addressed. Like that 9, the 9 is that energy of, awareness. It also is that energy of mastering something and closing it out and completing it. So I'm getting something with, in order to bring balance, something that is in balance and bringing it into harmony and bringing it into balance. So there might be an energy of like a mirroring in order to trigger something, trigger whatever the shadow is in order to bring in the balance and the harmony. So it's a fear. These fears are coming up. They have to be dealt with. It's like you can't ignore them, like how this person cannot sleep. You both are not going to be able to find that balance until you deal with whatever the fears are. The triggers are there. The angels are allowing certain things in order to show you as a message to you, this is what needs to be released. This is triggering you because this is showing you that this is out of alignment with your highest will and your highest good. How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to go about it? For the feminine, it's this feeling of being stuck in their head, feeling trapped, not know how to move. Should I take it? Should I leave it? Is this my pinnacle? Is this it? Is this, should I take this? Is this something that is going to be prosperous? Is this going to be something that I can actually do something with? I can mold this. I can grow with this. Is this it? Is this the person? It's being stuck in that energy and feeling so trapped in that when it's just an illusion. These triggers are making you feel like, okay, well, maybe it's not that. Maybe I'm just tripping. Maybe I'm crazy, right? But you got to discern where it's coming from. For the masculine energy, you as the masculine, whoever the masculine energy is, it's this, I gotta be on guard. It's mistrust. So the triggers here is mistrust. It's triggering that defensiveness. I gotta watch my back. Um, could also be like yeah, it's an energy of suspicion. It's an energy of like what is it? Skepticism. Can't even talk right now. um, just being very, very heavily suspicious or watchful, or, oh, I gotta make sure this person ain't doing, oh, let me make sure because, the last person, oh, they all do this, oh, they all say that, you know what I mean? Like this person has to make sure that what they're seeing is true. So these triggers, they gotta come up for a reason. So this mental battle, this energy can be broken off so that that choice or that decision to move forward. Yeah, so any triggers that you have, know that most likely, I would say 99% of it is divine hands showing you where your blocks lie in love, in relations to love, or the thing that you feel drawn to or called to. If it's not a person, then it's something, because it's blocking that pursuit of where your heart is guiding or leading you to receive it. It's almost like two people that are mirroring each other in different ways, where one person is the puzzle and the other person is the other piece of the puzzle. So if I'm not in a place to receive this offer, then I can't receive it. I can't get it. And if I'm not in a place to give the offer because I'm distrusting of whether I should or I shouldn't, then I'm not going to give it. So it's like you guys are mirroring each other, but in different ways. One person is in the energy of needing to be receptive, essentially both parties needing to be receptive and giving to the energy, but one person is in a place of being blocked from the receptivity. That's why the aces keep coming out. These are gifts. These are offers coming. And it's like the other party, I don't know if I should give it. I don't know if I should say anything. I don't know if I should do anything. So it's kind of playing a role of passivity on both sides rather than aligning with what is what. And again, that angel is here as a divine intercessor to guide and to assist and to look over and to watch these two people. So the good news is there is divine help. It's not like both parties is just out here bumping their heads around trying to figure it out. Oh, I don't know what to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? That's not the case. There is divine assistance, divine help here if you so choose to seek it out. Because obviously going your own way without that divine help, because we can't see everything with our physical two eyes. We have to have that connection to the spirit realm as well. We have to be rooted in the physical and spirit realm. So if we're too rooted in our flesh and our fight or flight energy, we're not attuned and tapped into the spirit realm. If we're too tapped into the spirit realm, then we're flighty. There's no movement. There's no room to grow. So I get that one of you is kind of like looking for the other for a sign. So one, I'm getting more so like a feminine energy that needs to more so look towards, both parties need to look for the divine in this. But it's kind of like the feminine energy, whether you like it or not, in a sense. It is what it is. You are kind of like leading this in a sense because your connection to spirit, whether you're more spiritually mature or more spiritually attuned or aware or more obedient to your soul, your spirit, to the divine, your divine will, you are leading this in a sense. You are the example in a sense. Because this masculine energy, I feel like, is kind of watching, because the feminine does represent some type of a spiritual energy. Now, if we're going to talk about this in a biblical sense, um, Adam, I guess, this depicting the Garden of Eden, Eve was given unto Adam as a gift, as of companionship, as of love. So there's something about this connection that is blessed, that is a gift to one another. But it's like, if I don't know what my birthright is, or I don't even know what I have in front of me, how can I honor it or respect it? So again, it goes back to understanding your purpose and in this situation, but also within the divine, in order to be able to discern what's for you and what's not for you. I do feel like there is a hint of, I know this is a significant person or situation in my life. I know it is. I sense it. But if there's a lack of awareness to even ask spirit, well, what is this? Or what is my responsibility in this? What is this to me? What do I do with this? Then you're not gonna know how to move forward in the situation. That's why that angel is there. You don't have to figure it all by yourself. The trick is when you try to go your own way and seek knowledge outside of yourself or through different sources, hence the snake in the garden. That's when you lose that clarity. And then you start to see the shadows and everything. Some of you guys, that snake could be some type of interference or some type of influences of this person, that person. And even if they mean well, for some of you, they might mean well. They are not the counsel that you need to be seeking at this time. I feel like divine spirit wants you to seek divine counsel first. And that is the divine counsel that is within you, you connected to that divine, the all, God, whatever you want to call the Alpha and the Omega, tapping into that energy first, not your homegirls, not your friends, your homeboys, oh, this person, and not even readers necessarily. Because sometimes even with that, as readers or those that have the gift or have the permission to speak over certain situations and connections and energies, when you're divinely led to find who you're meant to be led to, we might be given enough to tell you, but at the end of the day, your divine, that divine connect with you in spirit should always be number one, first and last, above anything or anybody else. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't feel like there's any need to pull anything else. Unless y'all feel like you need an advice card. But other than that, that really is it. And this is for all signs. I'm not going to specify, Geminis and, Capricorns. I ain't going to do all of that. It is what it is. Like, if this is for you, it's for you. And I would ask at the end of this that you still pray about this. You take it to God. You take it to the divine. You ask your spiritual team to guide you. Is this for me? Don't just take it because it sounds, whatever. All right, Holy Spirit, I thank you for this collective. You're welcome, Mimi. I appreciate y'all being here. For whoever needs this, whoever needs to hear this, I pray that it finds you at the divine right time. Thank you, Holy Spirit. What is the insight, divine wisdom, and guidance that you wish to impart and leave with those who are watching and will watch this reading? change your lifestyle. Yes, you guys have to be open to a new life. That's what this connection is, why it's so triggering. It's not so much about both of you in on a deeper level. It's bigger than the both of you. It's more so about what this connection is meant to spark in you, how where it's meant to take you and expand, though you may not see it all or know how, the ways, the wins, and the how. But that's where the faith comes in, because your soul knows that it's something bigger. But the ego, the flesh, and all that it's been through, all that it's seen and experienced in the flesh, it freaks out. All right, I'm going to read the card. It says, nurture your body through communion with nature and strengthen your spirit with laughter. Engage in mindful exercises like Tai Chi. Address discomfort before it's too late. Modify your diet. So, I'm going to kind of decode this a little bit. So, nurturing your body through communion with nature and strengthening your spirit with laughter. So, that's deep within itself. You're nurturing your body through communicating, communion. Look up the word communion. You're becoming one, you're merging, you're connecting with nature on an intimate level. You're tapping in your, whether it's you go out in nature, whether it's you go in a body of water, you're tapping into the nature of shoot, just nature. Whether it's the water, its purification, its cleansing properties, its ability to provide clarity for you. You're connecting with the water in that sense, whether it's through a bath, a shower, river, or ocean, whatever. Whether you're in it or looking at it or sitting by it, you're tapping into the energy, the grass, the earth, the dirt, that is the root, the soil. You're grounding your energy, the winds and the earth. You're tapping into the flow of spirit, fire energy. There's a time of time in movement and action. So you're tapping into the essence and the nature, whether it's nature of all things around you. You're watching how the birds communicate. You're watching how the, I don't know, the ants move, how they create, how they build. You're tapping into the essence of nature and you're finding yourself in that. You're communicating with God and nature, because that's, it's all God. You, the animals, everything is in communion with that. Again, the Garden of Eden. Then the strengthening of your spirit with laughter. Strengthening your spirit with laughter meaning filling it up with light energy. You're filling it up with joy and finding that thing. When you are strengthening your spirit, that means you're feeding your spirit things. So what are you feeding your spirit? Again, the part that stood out to me was modifying your diet. Not just modifying your diet in the sense of what you eat. Yes, that's part of it. But what are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you talking to? What are you saying out of your mouth? Because all of that is like, what is a part of your diet, period. Modify the way that you eat. Meaning, as they say, the word of God is, it's like bread, right? So words, speaking, that's food. Who are you allowing to speak into you? What are you taking? What are you eating? That, so Spirit is saying, address this discomfort before it's too late. Anything that Spirit presents to us to deal with and address, if it goes on for too long, it starts to become like a tumor, right? If we have like an illness and we know that something's off with our body and we don't see the doctor, that cancer or that tumor can grow bigger or it can spread. So if Spirit is, your angels and your spiritual team is showing you the triggers, they're showing you your deepest fears, and you're just going on about life like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. Oh, I don't want to. It's going to get to a place where it starts to get unbearable. So you deal with it. So you have to deal with it. That's what they're saying. Address this discomfort before it's too late. Spirit is wanting to change your life for a reason. So in order for your life to change, in order to be receptive to the new, you've got to change you. You have to have a renewing of the mind, a renewing of the heart. You have to come as a child. The Page of Swords, they're children. Pages are children, but pages also represent beginnings. They represent messengers as well. And again, masculine energy You're not going to be able to hear spirit clear when you already got your own mind made up on what is and what was. That's why you have to renew your mind from all the other things of last season. You're not going to be able to hear anything different, see anything different until you renew your mind and cleanse all that other stuff out. Make peace with it. Deal with it in the here and the now. Feminine, you're not going to be able to see what the divine is doing, because if you're still stuck in an energy and you're paralyzed by the fear of something, you're not going to be able to see. Her eyes and her ears are wrapped up. Her hands are tied. You can't move, you can't hear, and you can't see. At least the masculine energy is in the place. They might just be stubborn as hell. Let's just say that. They might be stubborn as hell. Excuse my language, where you can't move because you don't want to. You refuse to. You refuse to move. Whereas the feminine energy is a fear that you can't move, that you can't do anything, that you're helpless. And when spirit says no, you are the source, you are the light, you are the womb. So I don't want to get too much into this, because this can be prolonged, and I don't like when my readings be like an hour long, but it is what it is. And I feel like the message is as it stands. And see, the thing is too, I'm noticing like this burning bush in the back. And when I think of the burning bush, I think of the story of Moses. The story of Moses, when he discovers the burning bush and the I am is speaking through that bush. It's a voice. When you hear the thing is this, when you hear the voice of God, or you feel God speaking to you, it's a undeniable like force where it's like, like, oh, I can't do that, or I need to do this, right? You feel that conviction on you. It's the energy. And the way that they described it, Moses' experiences, it was like the fire was so brilliant and so powerful that it was hard to look at. That you could go blind, or it would be enough to just like affect you physically if you were to look at it, in a sense. So that burning, it kind of came in a way that was um not moderate, but in a way that was bearable enough, because it was very powerful. The light is very powerful. So I get like the masculine energy knows something, undeniably knows it. That's the problem with that stubbornness. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous thing. When you know God said something, the divine, God, whatever you want to call the higher power, the Alpha, the Omega, knows something. It said something clearly, and you still like being stubborn. That's a dangerous thing to do. I just want to say that. As they say, obedience is better than sacrifice. So if you know your soul, spirit, God is speaking to you, and you still like trying to do, that's a dangerous thing. That is not the type of games you want to play. So I don't want to go too deep into this. For some reason, I want to tap into that. I want to make sure that that's what it is. Is this something that the masculine has been told? The Six of Pentacles wanted to come out. Is this something? It was flipped upward, interestingly enough, like face up. King of Pentacles. There's something about there's something about giving. Um, I feel whatever it is, spirit is doesn't really want to say too much about it, because either it's both. It's either this or it could be both. That because both of you are, it's something to do with giving to the connection. Giving something to the connection. And I'm also getting another thing where the masculine knows who they are. They know what they represent in the situation, and what they are, what their responsibility is. The other thing is, for some of you, I'm not able to really go into it too much. It's because you guys all have your own unique situation, so it might be a little different. But in essence, it has something to do with giving and knowing the responsibility of what that is that they're supposed to bring to the table, to this connection, or give to the connection, and they're not doing it, which is dangerous. And why I say it's dangerous, because it's like if you have a assignment, a divine assignment or purpose or calling, regardless of whom and what is connected to it, but you have been called to something and you don't adhere to that call that the divine has called you to, it's some, yep, see, I didn't even pay attention to that. This King of Pentacles is supposed to give something here to this feminine, and the feminine has to be receptive to it. There's some type of influence, or there was an influence in the past that kind of blocked this from being received. You got to be careful with this, because if whoever you're lending your ear to, they could have your best intentions and all that, but if they are not, somebody try to my live try to block out when I said that. No, some people just insert themselves. You didn't even ask for their opinion. You didn't even ask for their advice, and then here they come, just or whatever. Or they could be saying something to you that does really sound wise, but at the end of the day, this is where the solidification of what God says is above what everybody else says. Because man, we're flawed all day. We're talking from a place of what we've been through in the past, what we've seen somebody else go through. Oh, society says this, and this is just the way that it is. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I wouldn't put up with that. Oh, that's wrong, that's right. We're going off of our human selves rather than spirit. And yes, spirit can speak through people. Divine spirit can use whomever they want to use, and they could be that wise counsel. You could be talking to a drunkard on the street, and God can speak through that drunkard and get you a message that you need to get. But again, it's discernment. So if you know what God said first, and anything or anybody else that is not speaking from that place, yes, it's challenging at times when you kind of waver in your faith and you're not always solid in trusting yourself and trusting yourself in God, the divine. It is kind of challenging, but you got to have that faith. Again, you got to strengthen your spirit and connect in the nature of who God is. The nature of who God is what you got to get familiar with, because you'll be able to discern the voice of God, the signs and the wonders. Are they coming from God? Are the dreams coming from God? Is the advices, the counsel, the messages, the wisdom coming from other people? Is it the wisdom of God? Or is it their own man-made wisdom or their experience? Yeah, again, they may mean well, but if they're not speaking from that counsel of God, you got to, I hear what you're saying, or thank you, or whatever, but it's not for me. That's where the strength comes in. Some of you have gotten into this entanglement because you've listened to too many voices. You done watched too many readings. You done bought too many readings. You done watched this. You done read this article. Oh, 10 signs that they in love with you and all that stuff. Like, listening to the counsel of men rather than the counsel of God, it will confuse you every time. Every time. Every time. Until you get to a place where you can discern it. Like, yeah, I can take bits and pieces. Oh, yeah, Cosmo magazine may be right about this. Yeah, this is how to spot a cheater. This is how to spot the one, whatever. But I'm not going to make that my sole source of what the truth is, because I know what God said, or I've sought it out for myself, or I'm going to seek it out for myself before I get entangled with the influence of other people or my fears, my own experience, me telling myself, oh, this isn't, oh, it can't be, oh, because of this or because of that. It blocks you every time. Every time. Until you get to that place where you're solid within spirit. So for some, it might be that you are in that place right now where you're not getting the answers of clarity you seek in hindsight, because you're not supposed to get it from everybody else, and you're going to keep bumping your head on the wall until you find peace in seeking divine counsel first. Because the thing is like, our source will give us everything that we need to know, give us the clarity that we need, the insight that we need, the guidance, because that higher intelligence wants us to walk the path that we are called to. So it's not ever going to be a point where it's like, oh, I'm just going to leave you out and dusty. And sometimes it might feel like that, but there's a purpose to why sometimes we don't hear from God when we want to hear from God, because there might be something we need to experience in that moment. Or you can call it the universe, whatever you want to call it, the Alpha, the Omega, the creator, the all, that higher intelligence that speaks to you, through other people. But you got to be able to discern what that voice really is before you seek it outside of yourself, before you let your pain and your wounds and your fears get in the way. Because God does not give us a spirit of fear. So yeah, see this, and then this is another thing too. Like I can't. I'm trying to stop the message. I'm trying to like be done with it, but I keep getting messages. You see how all these birds are like right here in front of this young person, this masculine energy. There's messages upon messages. So if you are a masculine, you're getting bombarded with messages. This is the thing. Like I feel like this is a masculine that knows. They can't say that they don't. They know. If you're a feminine watching this, your masculine energy, whoever they are, you don't got to put a face nor a label nor a name, but just the essence of whoever, know that they know what they're called to the situation, what they're supposed to be giving to the situation. It's something that it has longevity. This isn't no little, oh, I'm just going to give you a call or I'm going to text you, or it's something heavy with this. There's something that weighs the karmic balance. It weighs something out. It balances out a karmic energy. It brings about karmic justice to the situation. It's something with that. It's something with this. But they're allowing their fear, their inferiority to get in the way. Like, oh, I can't confront this person. Oh, I'm afraid of this person doing this, saying this. What if they cut me? What if they hurt me? They're running from this, some type of illusion or fear that doesn't even exist. Doesn't even exist. So that's the truth of it. Ace of Swords was at the bottom of the Queen of Swords. I'm going to leave it alone because, again, there was our swords, our truth. So I'm going to leave it alone. That was the end of it. That was a lot. I'm just saying. There's a little Page of Cups again. Again, the receptivity, the openness, and the willingness. It's theirs. It's a choice. I appreciate y'all too. Thank you. I hope that this message reaches whomever God wants it to reach, and that it, whatever it's supposed to do, whatever it's supposed to shake up, awaken, convict, reveal, confirm, whatever, that it does its just due, and that you guys will do with this message. Use it in divine wisdom if it's for you, if it's not, and how to apply it in the way that God wants you to. So again, I can't stress this enough. I am just a vessel. I'm a willing vessel to speak on God's behalf. But at the end of the day, please seek God first and last. There's nothing wrong with getting advice. Nothing wrong with seeking someone to help you. But God should be the first source, and then man second. And then at the end of the day, okay, man said this, so I'm going to go back to God with this. I'm going to take it back. I'm learning. Like, this is a hard lesson. For me, I'll speak for myself. This is something that God has been working with me on, too. Not to be so trusting everybody's voice and be so willing to hear or to seek someone's voice and answer. If it comes to me, still, yet and still be discerning with the message. Don't just take it, even if it comes at the time that I feel like it's divine. I'm still going to take it to God, because it might be out of time or out of term for me to hear it. It may not be the time for me to hear that message or to apply the message. You know what I mean? So always to discern the season you're in as well with these messages. It might not be a right now thing. It might be some healing involved. It might be some sitting, some patience, some waiting, preparation before anything. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Much love as always. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed, be safe, take care. Until the next reading.